Hello everyone and welcome back to Wolf Quest 2.7, and today we are with the Starry Skies pack. The pack we have created with our beautiful Star Dancer specifically to combine the Moon pack and the Stormy Skies pack, and you guys have just voted to help me figure out who is going to be our beautiful Star Dancer's mate, and there is a major twist involved, so I'm actually super excited to share this with you guys because I made a bit of a mistake, and what I thought originally was going to be like a huge mistake and I was going to have to apologize for it, and it was just going to be quite the mess, actually has turned out to be something very, very nifty. So as you guys know, over 1,000 of you have voted on the straw poll we had last time to figure out who would be Star Dancer's mate from the Stormy Skies pack, so that we would basically be merging the Moon pack, which is where Star Dancer is from, with the Stormy Skies pack after several generations. It's been many generations. They're very distantly related cousins to the point where it doesn't matter genetically anymore, but we're putting them together. Oh, and a lucky rabbit's foot! Lucky for you, Star Dancer. We are going to be combining them, and so it was you guys who picked the wolf that we would combine them with, and oh my goodness. All right, sit by your lucky rabbit's foot for just a second because I need to tell everybody about this. But I made a mistake. I made a big mistake, you guys. It turns out that Wisp, who is, oh, that's fine. No, Bear. No. What? You can't come and bring like the stormy, or you can't bring the Stormy Sky pack curse, and you're not going to fight me over my lucky rabbit's foot. This is not happening. All right. Hey, no, back off. Hey, back off, Bear. This is my lucky rabbit's foot. Oh, that was all it took. Good job, Star Dancer. If you ask me, that means she is ready to take on any of the bear biter curse that may be left over. That's right. Get out of here. Get out of here, you bear. Any of the bear butt biting curse that may be left over from ages ago when Atlas first brought the bear curse upon the Stormy Skies. Hopefully she'll be able to keep it out of the Starry Skies pack. But yeah, anyway, I made a mistake. Wisp, who is one of the wolves that was listed as a possible mate for Star Dancer, is not actually a boy. Wisp is a girl, as many of you guys pointed out. And when I've had like dozens and dozens of wolves born into our pack, sometimes I just get it like mixed up. But Wisp is actually the one who won the straw poll, and I realized that won't work, but Geo was right behind. Geo was right behind the straw poll with the like highest number of votes. So here's how we're gonna do it, you guys. Star Dancer has run into Geo in the past, and she and Geo were mates, but then Geo suddenly died. We're not sure how Geo died, but he died really suddenly, and so Star Dancer has not only just been released from the biologist who were studying her, and she's not only just trying to find her feet under herself again here in the wild, but she has already lost her mate Geo. So I think that they would have met up and they would have been ready to start a pack together, and then Geo died, and it could be, I'm leaning towards getting hit by a car. Maybe he got hit by the same car she did. No, probably after that. Probably he never really had a chance to be picked up by the biologist. But the main point being that her mate was Geo. So her puppies are going to be Geo's puppies. And I'm trying to find elk. If you guys are wondering what the heck I'm up to, I'm looking for where the elk scent is trying to lead us. There we go. We'll go down this direction. But yeah, she is currently pregnant with Geo's puppies, and Geo unfortunately has already died, and that's a coyote. I don't know if she needs to take him on. Probably not. There we go. The elk showed up, so the coyote gets to escape for today. All right, let's go ahead and wiggle out one of the weak ones. All right, there, this one. Let's go for this one. Right there. Come on, Star Dancer, you can do it. And so Star Dancer is having to take on the world all on her own, having just lost her mate, but she's going to bump into Wisp. And if you guys remember Wisp is one of Geo's siblings, and Wisp is the very weak little female wolf, the white wolf, who is extremely weak and couldn't really, Clever elk, leading me back into the herd to get myself kicked to pieces, are you? Well, I'm not going to have any of that. Let's just grab on. Oh, now it's raining. It's going to do something to the sense, all right? All right. And then we'll just sit and rest for a minute. And we'll hunt this elk. I'm not worried. Star Dancer, because she has so much speed, kind of has to balance things out by waiting. There we go. By waiting until she gets her stamina back. But the speed's so helpful in hunting these elk. And she's really good at chasing them into trees, I've noticed. So yeah, she's already got a lot to deal with, but she's going to discover Wisp. So Wisp is the white female wolf who is a little bit weaker, and is a member of the Stormy Skies pack, and Misty had to really kind of very gently care for, had to really watch over her very weak daughter. And Wisp is going to become the kind of like stand-in parent. She's going to help Stardancer raise her brother Geo's pups. And no, that's not something that would happen in the wild. Just to put that out there, it's totally not, but neither is Ancestor Blessings and so many of the other things we've done in this series, so I'm gonna roll with it. Okay, Stardancer. Stardancer. You've got like 2 more bites left. Come on. There we go. She's not feeling her best here. Probably because now we've recently discovered that she's heartbroken. Sorry about that, Stardancer. But yeah, so we're going to go and look for Wisp. And Wisp is not going to be Stardancer's mate, but she's going to be the aunt to the puppies who are going to be born. And she is going to help raise the puppies in kind of pack style. So that's where a big twist is going to be. And that also means we might only be with Stardancer for 1 litter because her mate is already dead, which is very, very sad. But it might give us a chance to kind of reflect the fact that Stardancer is actually an older wolf since she is from a earlier generation. She is Lunala's sister, and it'll give us a chance to move on with the Starry Skies pack and start fresh stories with them and find a fresh mate for whoever her puppies might be. And I just really love the idea of Wisp being able to help her, like, kind of sister of the blood, like, through the puppies out. So that'll be a really fun twist on things. And I also wanted to ask you guys, those of you who vote specifically for white wolves every time, why? I would love to know why, because Lunala was one of the most absolute hated and vilified wolves that we have ever had, and she almost killed the entire WolfQuest series because of how negative and angry and like furious everyone was that she existed as a whole. And yet Lunala won the poll by a far margin, and I wanted to know why. Why do you guys vote for the white wolf but then really hate the white wolf when we actually have her? So I just kind of wanted to put that out there because I am really, really, really curious about that. But let's go ahead and do a little bit more hunting. Don't mind if I do. But I'm not going to let that get me down. But in the future, if I just see the white wolf being voted for a lot just because of the fact that she's a white wolf, I might have to veto that. So I'm gonna announce now that Seri has veto powers when it comes to the voting of the wolves in the future, because you guys vote for the white wolves and then everybody just gets so hateful, and that's not what our community is about. The WolfQuest community in particular is about the fan fiction that you guys put in the comments. It's about the beautiful fan art that you send in. It's about the creativity and the passion that you help to use to create these wolf stories. Without your stories, WolfQuest wouldn't be what it is. So I might have to step in now and then. No, there's very smart elk tonight. Oh dear. No wonder we had some trouble with the other elk. I forgot we got ourselves kicked to pieces. All right. Well, you can just calm yourself down and weaken, and we're gonna eat off of this elk for a moment. There are several dead elk around, so it's not like we need to spend forever doing some hunting. All right, there we go. There we go. You've got this, Stardancer. All right. And gonna hunt you down. And yeah, somebody did notice that I forgot to name Stardancer like Starry Skies, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. We might say she's the transition wolf, and then her next puppy will be like the formal official founding of a pure Starry Skies pack wolf pup. And it's kind of fitting in a very sad way. I think Geo may have been like a really strong wolf, so probably not a car. I have like this vision of a cliffside, like a rainy cliffside and a fight with another predator, and Stardancer being able to get away at the last minute, like covered in mud and having tried to fight herself. So very dramatic. Like I said, a lot of the story of WolfQuest relies on your guys' imaginations. All right, so we're gonna hunt down this elk to get a little bit of our experience, and then we are gonna go ahead. Come on, elk, we've got you. She does a lot better hunting in the forest, if you ask me, because the elk run into the trees all the time. All right, and then okay, can we do ears forward, alert? Oh, that's so cool. I love the little animations on there. Yeah, because we can be like, yep. All right, zeroing in on the elk. There we go. Man, she is not very weakened. This might take a minute. But after we hunt down this elk, then we will start heading up into the forest, because now the hardest part of what we need to do in order to find one of those wolves comes up, where we have to keep searching until we find a white dispersal wolf. And you guys are going to be with me on that journey, and hopefully learning a little bit more about Stardancer, her quirks. Maybe if it takes a little while, I'll... Uh-oh. Ah! Nope. Yeah, we agreed in the comments. A lot of you guys supported the idea that every time she hears that plane, it's just like time to freak out and run away and spin in circles and basically get away from that airplane. How are you supposed to focus on hunting? How are you supposed to focus on anything when you've got that sound coming after you? So the plane is coming back to check on her. Man, can you imagine how disappointed the biologist would have been to have seen her with a mate and then the mate disappears? All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. All right, we're gonna zigzag through the trees. But I think it's very fitting for her personality, especially after being messed enough with humans, that she would just skedaddle anytime she hears that plane. All right, the sound is starting to calm down now, and the food is kind of far away. Huh. Well, she's only a little bit hungry, so let's continue to climb up into the mountain, and we'll see if we can find a white male dispersal wolf. Because until we find a white male dispersal wolf, we're sort of stuck looking, because we are specifically trying to find Wisp. And Wisp is a female, don't confuse that, but in order to have Wisp tag along with us into where all the puppies are over in the creek level, we need to find a white male wolf. And then we're just going to pretend that's Wisp, who is actually a girl. So thank you guys so much for keeping track of all that for me. It's very hard when there's so many puppies, and I am so impressed by all of the absolutely amazing family trees that so many of you have made. And I definitely need to start keeping one. In fact, I probably should start keeping like a bunch of Google documents to keep family trees in line for all of our amazing series where we have so many fantastic generations of animals. All right, so let's see if I can find another wolf. I'm not picking up the scent of one anywhere, but we are kind of downwind at the moment. All right, and usually we run into very aggressive females up here. And usually the wolf is like back down this direction. But I don't see anything. We might not have any luck with Stardancer this time. Alright, but yeah, depending on how long it takes, I will start maybe even reading out some of your guys' fan fiction that you have for the wolves from the comments while we are searching for the mate. Because this is probably going to be basically the entirety... Oh no, we wandered out of the territory. This is probably going to be the longest journey in Stardancer's story, especially if she only has one litter of puppies. And we're going to have to come up with a new naming theme, as many of you guys pointed out. And we might start doing more complicated names because the packs themselves have started to get more complicated. Stardancer, oh, there we go. Stardancer, after all, is a much more complicated name than we've normally gone with in the past. Oh, okay, so territory marker is pointing this direction. So yeah, I would love to hear your guys' ideas. And something to do with stars, something to do with the planet. Maybe kind of like what we were starting to do with... Oh! I'm not sure about this. Not quite as white as we need for Wisp, unfortunately. So, do I know you maybe? Oh! Oh! I was gonna have a bit of a conversation, but poor Stardancer just got completely rejected. Alright, well, that didn't go over so well. Let's just take her back down to the forest to get some food. But yeah, we'll have to just search around, and we really need to keep looking until we find a white male wolf who looks a lot more like Wisp. If that one had maybe been a bit paler, I would have been like, oh, this could be Wisp. But that one didn't quite look the way that Wisp looks. So let's get her back down for some food. And then we can turn back around and have her just kind of walk the forest up, like the mountain forest, looking for a mate. So hopefully we'll be able to get her story started and you guys will enjoy it. And I am very excited because I do need to come up with the random generator. Oh, there's a lucky rabbit foot. Perfect. Yeah, see, Rabbit says that's a good idea. I do need to come up with the random generator where you guys will be able to vote on what the conditions will be like There, now we can already turn back around and go back up to the wolf territory. What the conditions will be like for wolves when they move into the creek level. And that random generator will contain everything from like making certain dens required or banning us from being able to use certain dens because they will have flooded during a season or something like that. It may do things like demand that we only eat from the cattle ranch, or it may do things like say that the difficulty level goes up or down. We're actually, lucky for her, on, I believe, the easiest difficulty right now. Not account. Siri has forgotten how to check game settings. Yeah, we're on pretty easy right now. So there might be a difficulty setting where if it says that it would be pretty, like, make the level easier, it might give us an ancestor challenge we could use. Or it might use a difficulty setting where it gets really, really hard. So we'll have a really fun straw poll where you guys will have your paws in the mix to help determine. White wolf, white wolf. Ooh, actually, not bad, not bad. This is pretty close. Oh, it's a female. I can wait. So an encounter. I don't think Star Dancer. She's probably a pretty chill wolf. I'm no threat to you. Yeah, I don't think she's a wimp. She's just kind of a chill wolf. So she's not really in the mood. She comes from a huge family. She knows how to just kind of ignore things. So she's just going to be like, I'm going to be going now. Yeah, she comes from a big family, so she knows how to handle that kind of conflict. And that might also explain why she would be so good with Wisp. But alright guys, we're going to continue looking for her mate, and, well, not her mate. Her mate's Geo and he's dead. We're going to continue looking for her, like, sister-in-law, sister-in-pack, I suppose. And then getting ready to move on to the next level where she can have her puppies next time. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye!